Hello everyone, welcome again to third part of fourth chapter in our book First Flight from the Diary of Anne Frank. So in the prior two parts we have read about Anne Frank, and in the previous part we read that Anne Frank was given an extra homework assignment by her mathematics teacher, and she was asked to write an essay on the topic a chatterbox. She didn't want to complete the work just as a formality, so presenting some concrete ideas, she wrote a beautiful essay that lasted in 3 pages, and she assured her teacher that she would definitely try to make herself better, but she could not promise to stop talking completely because she had inherited that trait of talking from her mother. So let's continue now. This is a repetition. When she submitted the essay, the teacher was quite surprised and was happy also. But she couldn't help talking, so the professor scolded her for the third time and punished her. The whole class started laughing. As a result, she had to pretend to be amused too. After writing twice on similar topic because she had been asked again to write down on the same topic, she ran out of thoughts. Now she had exhausted all her creativity. She thought what to write again and again on a chatterbox. Thus, she took help of her friend San, who was very good at poetry, and offered to help her write and rhyme. Now, this whole assignment scenario was to make Anne feel ashamed. The teacher, I'm sorry to say, but sometimes just to teach students a lesson, the teachers they tend to give such kind of homework, thinking that the students wouldn't be able to complete it. But Anne thought my teacher wants me to feel ashamed in front of the class, but she was quite determined that I would do my work efficiently. So she sought help of her friend San, and with the help of friend, she made sure that she gave an effective reply. So, what did she write the third time? She finally wrote her third assignment in form of a poem, which turned out to be great. She wrote a satire. Satire means a piece of writing that is meant to evoke humor, laughter, with an aim to correct something. So she wrote a satire that a father swan bit his three baby ducklings to death because of their noisy nature. So, what this poem was about, it was about a swan family. It was a father swan, and he had three baby ducklings. Because they were very young little babies, so they kept on making noise all the time. So the father swan, he what did he do? He bit his own baby ducklings to death, mean he killed them just to stop their noise. To her good luck, the professor took it lightly. Had the professor been somebody who could be annoyed quite easily, he would have taken it in a very wrong notion. But the professor admired her creativity, he admired her imaginative skill, and he recited the entire poem in front of the class while giving his own remarks simultaneously. And for your knowledge, in whichever next class Professor Keesing used to go, he would recite poem written by Anne. He was so impressed by her creative writing skills. So the author, being fortunate enough, talked uninterruptedly after this incident, because by now she had understood that the teacher, Mr. Keesing, though he was very strict, yet he understood this, that talking in a limit is human tendency, and they would do so. After this incident, without any further homework as punishment, he never asked her to write further essays, or but he always wanted her to use her creative skills. Also, Mr. Keesing, the professor, started cracking jokes every now and then in front of the class. So the otherwise quite grieved and quite grave looking professor, Mr. Keesing, who used to teach mathematics, he also showed the funny side of his personality when he started cracking jokes in his class every now and then. This was because of the satire written by Anne Frank. And finally, though this is not written by Anne obviously, but we are told that, as we probably know, and I hope you know because I have told you, that Anne and the other members of the annex means the attic where they used to live, were sent to various concentration camps by Hitler's army, Nazis. And Anne's father, Mr. Otto Frank, was the sole survivor. He was the only one who could bear and tolerate and survive all the tortures. Auschwitz concentration camp, which he was met with in Auschwitz concentration camp. And when he found the diary written by Anne Frank, he thought it to be a very valuable piece of information and creative writing, and he thought of getting it published. These are some quick revision notes for your help, though I am trying that with every next lesson we should have a brief recap. But when you complete the chapter and you go through the notes, you yourself will be revising the chapter. These are all important points. On her 13th birthday, Anne Frank's parents give her a diary and starts writing about daily events, her thoughts, school grades, boys, all that. For 2 years, the Frank family lives in the secret annex and grows in her knowledge of politics and literature, and she puts tons of energy into studying and writing. At the same time, she grows further and further away from the other members of the annex. Other members means apart from her own family, one more family used to live there with them. So this she means by other members. We see a real change in Anne when she begins hanging out in the attic with Peter Van Daan. He was Anne's good friend. Around this time, she starts having dreams about a boy. She was in love with another Peter Schiff. She sometimes even gets two Peters confused in her head. There her diary ends, 2 short months after Anne's 15th birthday, and 2 days after the last diary entry. The secret annex is raided. We don't know Anne's thoughts or feelings at that point or any other time after that, but we know things got worse. As you probably already know, Anne and the other members of the annex were sent to various concentration camps, and Anne's father, Otto Frank, was the only sole survivor. So here we come to an end with the chapter. In the next lesson, we would be discussing question answers. Till then, please revise the chapter and understand all the important points. Thank you.